Peace. Welcome to take 2 of the very first 15-minute mixtape with yours truly, Mylan Drake, aka Mr. Drake, aka the Mind of Mylan. I am going to take you through a 15-minute journey of gathering some of my favorite things, beats, books, and design, and pulling together a tool in 15 minutes or less that could be used to hopefully help you with something and or help others. And so this is something that I plan on. I have 7 that are already currently selected. I wouldn't say depending on how they do, because if I do them, then I have the victory is mine. I just wanted to get the words out, the thoughts out, and the idea out and see how it goes. I started this video before, and I'm really doing some prototype, I don't even call it sound checking. Let's go with that, to try to figure out how to share my screen, how to ensure that the tool that I share with you is one that you can use. So this is a very light first draft of a tool, and that I'll be using to kind of go through. Again, pulling 3 things: beats, random from my magical box of mixtapes, and again, as I've said before, for those born in the early 1900s, I was born in the late 1900s, so we use those tools, cassettes, for sharing music and voices, recording all type of things from radio shows to choir rehearsal. So I took this particular tape, placed it in this radio, plays cassettes. It is not a it's not a boombox that has different dimensions. Then I took a book off my shelf randomly for this session using Saku. I am really trying to figure out how to get this to not be backwards. I'll figure that out later. Again, like I said, it's early prototype. So I got that, got a book, beats, and then I took these 3 design tools, experiences, implications, and systems. These are 3 of the 6 assets of aspects of design work as so described on the D School website. I am the community design lead at the D School, and these are the aspects that I engage with the most often. I find that obviously there's community in other worlds and other formats, but this is what generally works for me, or what I at least, again, what I engage with the most. So to that, I have this tool here. Took some liberty to try to figure out how to use this, remix this storyboard, because design for me is usually telling a story and or getting someone else to be able to tell their story. So I'm either telling a story to you or working with you to help you tell your story. And or I would probably say telling a story with you. Testimony, call and response, and then really getting you to find a way to get yourself, your voice in the booth, the way that it works. So good news is I pulled together something relatively swiftly between the last prototype. Didn't like the fact that I wrote a bunch of things down, but you couldn't see the things that I wrote. I was speaking them, obviously, but my preference would be for you to be able to see what I'm doing. So let's just get into it. Timer says I'm 5 minutes in, so let's see what I can do with the 10 minutes remaining. I might go a little bit over because I wanted to explain what it is I'm doing, and hopefully you'll stick around to the end. So first thing, let's just call this number 1. Erase. Let's call this the first one. And I don't know why I decided to put 2 zeros in front, but that's just the way I'm feeling. And so what you didn't see was on that cassette that I showed you, the song that was playing, or where the cassette started, was Easy by the Commodores. It's a 1977 song off of their album titled Commodores as well. I'm not going to sing the song. If you thought that was going to happen, sadly mistaken. So that is the song that I will be using. And when I played the cassette, it was right at the end. So they just kept repeating, I'm easy like Sunday morning. Didn't really get into any other lyrics. It was really literally at the end. The book that I'm using, as I showed before, show it again, reach over the mic. Seeking the Suku by Dr. Wade Nobles. This is a, so I'll put that in here. Seeking. My handwriting is already getting, always spells Suku there. Forget the H. Dr. Wade Nobles. Let's I'm floating. That's what it was. There. All right. So got Seeking the Suku. That's horrible. Nope. Not going to do it. I can't. No. No. We gotta. It's not about perfection, but it is definitely not about. It's not about perfection, but it's not about what does that even say? So let's pull it together. There we go. Much better. Now that you can at least read. Now the top part is actually bad, but I'm not going to go back. I couldn't see how bad it is. So the space I told you again was experiences. So, and I think to remember, these are the baselines that we're kind of going with. So got these pictures here. They just help me to think about experiences, systems, and implications. I can't really see them, but I'm going to circle Nipsey Hussle and Mr. Charles, the waving man from Berkeley. So those are reminders for me specifically about experiences. So I also just randomly selected offline, like, who am I designing this for? So I just listed like 75, I think it was 70 or 75 things that I've already done before. Programs, projects, courses, curriculum. I just listed all the stuff. And so then I just randomly pulled one of them. And this one is proposing a three-day conference for Who did I say? Oh, for educators and leaders, ed leaders. Looking to integrate say, oh, design into their curriculum. Okay. Curriculum. Now, finding that writing. So what does it say under there? So this is the rhythm that we're trying to go with. Trying to thinking of the song, easy, like in the song he says easy like Sunday morning. So we're thinking easy, thinking Dr. Wade Nobles, and I opened Wade Noble's book, Dr. Noble's book, Wade, like we're brothers. And in it, it says communication is essentially the process by which information is transmitted from one source to another. Technically, this requires encoding and the transmission of information, other messages into decoding and reception. In theories, communication, it is also noted that as an important component of communication chain is technical noise. So that's just a random section that I've opened and had the I already had highlighted, so I just opened it, flipped, stopped randomly, and then that was where I had highlighted. So what I would do, and the reason why there's this image of Jay Dilla here in the square is think about in the book that I read on Dilla, I'm not going to, well, I guess since it's up there, it's Dilla Time. And the name of the book is The Reality that Dilla created. Dilla, music producer, created his own time. There's straight time, there's swing time, and then there's Dilla time, which is basically something that is intentionally not on beat. So sometimes when you're designing things, you want them to be very straight. I could use an example for a military training. It's very straight. There's a thing that I need everybody to pick up. There can't be any variations of the thing that folks are needed to pick up. That makes sense. It's very straight. So it's not that you can't infuse design into it, but you're because you're infusing design into a very straight approach. And that constraint is not bad. It's actually good because you know what you're working with and you know how to be able to measure if we're doing this right. So you got that. Then you have swing time, which can be on beat, but it comes in a little differently. So that would be very simple in my mind. Simple example would be teaching. So yes, I need you to learn how to read this book, or I need you to read this book as a example. But I don't need you to read. There's a way that I can swing that. It can be first assignment is to read all 1,000 pages, or read the first 10, tell me what you liked, read the next 10, tell me what you don't like, read the next 10, and talk about it with a friend. So we're going through accomplishing the goal, but we're swinging. We're all not all over the place, but we're in different spaces. Like, not like, share, which means you'll have to be able to communicate what you read. So it feels, swing time is this space where Jedi mind tricks, in my opinion, live, where it's like, oh, well, I read 30 pages and the student read 30 pages and they didn't even realize it because they're They actually got an opportunity to say what they didn't like about the book. They got an opportunity to talk to a friend about the book, and they got an opportunity to read 4 things that they might, even if they aren't a fan of it, how do I explain based on this assignment what I liked about it? So you're doing 3 things for one cause: to read the book.